Hello, hello. Hold on one second. My mouse doesn't want to work. Oh, come on. Okay. I need to switch mice. Hold on one second. I have a mouse that wants to just double click everything.
I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I'm at Reagan National Airport,
Hey, hey.
joined by United States
A
Transportation
plane
Secretary
crash
Sean
just
Duffy,
happened
United
about
States
a couple
Senator
hours
Jim
ago.
Moran, Senator Roger Marshall, Jack Potter, the CEO of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority. We are here to brief you on the very tragic events of this evening, where we know a passenger plane uh, coming to the airport here collided with a military helicopter. Our fire department, DC Fire and EMS, supported by fire departments and police departments from across the Washington metropolitan region, are executing a rescue operation in the Potomac River. They are
Jeez.
working diligently in very dark and cold conditions
I think
right
this is
now
the
to
biggest plane crash
execute
we've
this
had
rescue
in a long time.
operation. We have had the opportunity to be briefed by American Airlines officials. I'm told that American Airlines leadership is on the way to Washington as well, and officials are in the airport talking to families now. We do have a 1-800 number where families should contact us, should contact American Airlines for more information, and we will be providing that
This is so
information
sad.
shortly. I am
Trigger
going
warning,
to
trigger
turn
warning.
to a number of officials to provide as much information as we can this evening, and we expect to have more frequent uh, briefings at daylight. So with that, I'm going to turn
Hey,
to
hey.
Secretary Duffy.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. I think for all of us, we want to extend our thoughts and prayers to those individuals who were impacted by the events tonight, their families. We know this is
Yeah.
a very difficult time for all of
This
us.
is a very
I want to join the mayor and everyone here
big
to
deal.
extend our thank you to the first responders who, again, in very difficult
No
situations and
problem.
environments, are out there
I like your
safely
new name, by the way.
and attempting to rescue. Tonight, I spoke with President Trump and his team in the Situation Room. I had a conversation with Secretary Pete Hegseth as well, and then with the Kansas delegation and the mayor and others in leadership, as well as Governor Youngkin from Virginia and Governor Kelly from Kansas. From the Department of Transportation and FAA's perspective, we are going to offer full support to those on the ground, to the mayor, but
If
also
you're
to
just tuning
the
in, there
NTSB,
was a plane
who
crash
is going to be
a
conducting
couple
the
hours
investigation
ago
into this
from
matter.
the
We are
Reagan
providing the
Airport.
support that's
A
necessary.
American Airlines collided
So
with
with
a
that, I'm going to turn to
training
John Donnelly from
uh,
DC
military
Fire and
helicopter.
EMS to provide an update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Donnelly, Chief of DC Fire and EMS. This evening at 8:48, an alert was sounded, initiating a large regional response
And
to
it
an
sounds like
aircraft crash
they went
at
into the
Washington
Potomac River.
Airport. This response includes first the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority's Fire Department, the District of Columbia Fire Department, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the U.S. Park Police to respond into the area and to sort that out. At 8:58, the first units arrived on the scene and found an aircraft in the water and began rescue operations. This incident has grown. There's currently about 300 responders working. We have boats from all
Apparently, this is the biggest crash we've had in a while.
We have a mutual aid agreement in Washington, D.C., the National Capital Region Mutual Aid Agreement administered by the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments, and we're all operating under that. We're operating under a unified command. Everybody's together. So we also have requested state police helicopters from Maryland, and the Coast Guard helicopter is working. So this is a state and federal response as well.
Yeah, this was unfolding as I was going into my ASL class.
The conditions out there are extremely rough for the responders. It's cold. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. Wind is hard out on the river. So they're out there working. We're doing everything we can to keep them safe. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to the mayor.
In Chief Bonnet from MY.
I'm Rick Bonnet, Fire Chief of MWA Fire and Rescue. Our units, as Chief Donnelly already alluded to, at 2048, we received an alert from the FAA tower of an aircraft incident involving a commercial aircraft and a helicopter. Our units immediately responded and deployed 3 boats and immediately called for mutual aid resources. Again, as Chief Donnelly said, it's an active operation that's going to last many hours as we continue to work through recovery efforts and rescue operations. This will be ongoing for quite a while. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families. And,
Yes, please send your good vibes out there.
all DC's
I think
to our agency.
there was about 60 people on the airplane.
So with that, I wanted to turn to the senators who are from Kansas who wanted to say a few words. First, Senator Moran, and then Senator Marshall.
Mayor, thank you, and Mr. Secretary, thank you, and to our first responders, thank you very much for all that's taking place here. I'm Jerry Moran. I'm a United States Senator from Kansas, and I chair the subcommittee and Commerce Committee on Aviation. So we have really a serious and sad circumstance that we want to be here to be helpful, and we're praying that our responders are safe and the folks who are on that flight are recovered.
Yeah, this is a very scary
I would
situation.
describe is that I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself. I lobbied American Airlines to begin having a direct nonstop flight service to DCA. That flight has been in existence about a year. And it is certainly true that in Kansas and in Wichita in particular, we're going to know people who are on this flight, know their family members, know somebody. So this is a very—
It was coming from Wichita, apparently.
As well as an official response.
Yeah, and I fly a lot.
We will do everything we can to make certain that we're supportive of the rescue efforts, and we'll do everything we can to make certain that our subcommittee and Congress is engaged.
But the thing is, this doesn't happen like that often. This was some sort of weird freak accident. We'll see what happens with the investigation, but it was a Black Hawk in training.
And there is all of us pulling together for the best outcome possible. I'm honored to be here with my colleague, Senator Marshall, as we try to make certain that we care for those certainly back in Kansas that were on that flight. But it's a reminder that there are people here in Washington, D.C., and this region, in Virginia, and Maryland, and many places else that fly to and from Kansas. And so we're rooting and supporting all those, regardless of where you're from. And Mayor, I appreciate the gathering here for us to try to—
And the excuse me, the Reagan Airport isn't that big. It's over near the Pentagon, and it's not that big at all. The Dulles International Airport is the bigger one.
Tragedy, but when many people die, it's an unbearable sorrow. It's a heartbreak beyond measure. And I know Senator Moran and I are here just to to say we care. We wish that there was more we could do, but unfortunately, there doesn't seem much at this
Yeah,
time.
the rescue is
I want
still
the folks to
happening.
just know that we care, that we love them, and that this is a time when we'll have to join arms together and help each other out. We've been through things like this before, through tornadoes and floods and things, but it's really hard when you lose, probably over 60 Kansans simultaneously. And I don't want to forget the pilots and the flight attendants, are doing do their job, and the military personnel we lost. All those lives are so valuable, and it is such a tragedy that we lost them. I think often in times like this, I try to find a scripture
I'm not sure
that is apropos.
if they
And
know
this
if
is from the book of
everybody,
Psalms. It
what
says,
everybody's
"The
condition
Lord is
is
close
yet.
to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Certainly, we're crushed in spirit tonight. We mourn with the families who lost loved
Yes,
ones, and we truly are
I agree,
grieving and
Felix.
praying, wrapping our arms around them in love and compassion. Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you for your thoughts and your prayers.
So certainly I speak for the people of Washington, 700,000 of us who are
And when they
extremely
say
sorry
Washington, it's
for the
Washington, D.C.
families
at the Reagan Airport.
experiencing loss tonight. And so we want
The
you to know that we will
helicopter and
continue to work
airplane
with
went into the
American
Potomac
Airlines
River.
to share information as frequently as possible and make sure that we're getting accurate information out to the public. But my sorrow for all of the people and crew on the plane and our military personnel on the helicopter is very deep. I do want to turn to Jack Potter, who is the CEO of our airports authority.
I'm
This
unsure,
individual
ex-Mormon
for
Psych Ward.
International Airport and Dulles International Airport
It was just
is also
unfolding when I
CEO
was
of
going
our
into my
airports
ASL class
authority.
earlier tonight
So he
around 7
responded,
Pacific
and
Standard Time.
we're looking
It's
what
10
he has to
o'clock
say.
now. And I was waiting for the press
Good evening,
conference
as
to
was said.
happen.
I'm Jack Potter, the President and CEO
Yes,
of
this
the
is live right
International
now.
Washington Airports Authority. Thank you all for being here tonight and under these very, very grim circumstances. First of all, I want to let you know that we're providing support to all the families who are involved. American Airlines has established a phone number for them to reach out. That's been published, but let me repeat it. It's
Oh, the mayor's crying.
1-800-679-8215.
Yeah,
So
it's
for the
very
families
tragic when
of folks that are
mass
on the plane, we
casualties
ask you to
happen.
contact them. We did have folks who were at the airport to pick up loved ones. And so American has set up a center in their in their lounge
Oh
at the north end of
God,
the
this is
airport.
breaking my
We've
heart
directed the families there, and there are
because like
folks
people
there
are
to
expecting to
counselors there
pick
to work
people
with the
up.
families. We did have aircraft that were in the air. They were diverted to Dulles Airport, some 19 aircraft. We had personnel, United and others had personnel. We want to thank WMATA for extending their hours on the Metro to make sure that those folks were accommodated. Right now, as was said earlier by the chief, we're in
I've
a rescue
actually
mode.
never
We
flown
will continue in that
through
rescue
Reagan. I
mode.
usually would take
I want to thank all the
Dulles
mutual aid
or
responders, all
Baltimore,
the counties,
Washington
the
International.
districts, folks from Maryland and Virginia. Everybody's on site doing the best they can.
I used to live in
And
Virginia.
numerous boats out in the water right now. NTSB is on site. I want to thank all of the folks behind me, the secretary, the mayor, the two senators for all of their support. And we're going to continue to work through the night. I do want to make an announcement. People are, concerned about what's going to happen in the morning. Reagan National Airport will be closed until 11 o'clock. That's when the first flights will take off. But we're going to continue to do our best and work through this situation over the course of the night. And we hope to have more news as it develops. But for right now, it's been
Yeah,
a difficult situation
yeah,
today with
your
the
hips
cold.
get
It's
bad.
very dark,
My
but there
I'm
are
like so scared
numerous
that my
boats out there.
grandmother
There are
is
dive teams
going
out there.
to really knock
So
herself
we'll
out
continue to
for
work the
good one of these
situation,
days
and I'll
because
turn
she
it back to the mayor. Thank you very
falls
much.
all the time. But she's stubborn, won't
So
leave her house,
definitely, and
won't
I
use
knew
her
you
mobility
heard
aids.
that in the the National Capital Region, the district, of course, is Washington, D.C. is at the center, but we are a close region.
Yeah, I
We heard
don't
from the
I don't
governors
want to
of
think
Maryland,
about that.
Virginia,
Ex-Mormon.
the mayor of
Yeah, that's
Baltimore,
too
all
heavy for me.
sent us personnel to help in the rescue operations. Last thing I'll note is just to our local viewership, and just please let our first responders do their work. Try to let our vehicles get to scenes and through scenes. We don't want anybody else to get hurt. Um, because of moving vehicles. Okay, so we will be able to take a few questions. There's not a lot that we can say. We won't be able to say anything about an investigation. As you know, once fire and EMS completes the rescue operation, then the investigation goes over to the National Transportation Safety Board. And I'm sure the Safety Board, NTSB, will provide
That's good to
information
know.
about when they will be briefing about an investigation. So we'll take a few. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit.
Confirm that both aircraft are in the water, and perhaps Chief Godwin can explain what's involved in conducting an operation like this.
Yes, both aircraft are in the water. The focus now is rescuing people. And that's what all of our personnel are focused on. And Chief, I think he's given a pretty good description, but if there's anything else you want to add, Chief.
I would just say that the boats are out doing searches. We have divers on both aircraft.
Yeah.
They're
My
searching.
my bone density is actually pretty good.
The aircraft at this point.
Like, knock on wood, I've never broken a bone. But I'm so flexible that I frequently would
People on each
um
aircraft, 64 people on the
have
American
severe sprains.
Airlines plane and 3 people on the military helicopter. And we can't provide any more information about recovery
The
efforts.
two people have talked about lost loved ones. So how do you know that there are two people with lost loved ones?
I didn't say I didn't know people had lost loved ones. I said we can't talk about any of the recovery efforts in specific tonight. Yes. So I'll call on who's next. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Will this affect operations at Dulles and BWI? Will the Potomac River traffic be closed to boats?
Yes. And so Jack has talked about, Jack, can you talk about Dulles? I'm not sure we can talk about BWI, but we can talk about Dulles.
There is no impact at BWI or at Dulles. As I said earlier, our airport here, Ronald Reagan National Airport, will be closed until 11 o'clock. Obviously, that will be fluid. We'll learn more, but we wanted to advise passengers who might be coming to the airport in the morning that we will be
What is
closed at
prednisone?
least 11 o'clock.
Is that like a antibiotic?
Yeah, 1 second. You're next.
Hi, Mayor. Thank you so much. So, just other than the current situations, like we know the water is extremely cold and it's very dark outside. Although Senator is saying that there are numerous boats in the water, but what's still the biggest challenges for the rescue team? What best scenario we can expect in the coming few hours till morning?
So the challenges are access. The water that we're operating in is about 8 feet deep. There is wind. There is pieces of ice out there.
I
So
don't like
it's just
anything
dangerous and hard
that's
to
more than
navigate.
5 feet deep.
Because there's not a lot of lights, you're out there searching every square inch of space to see if you can find anybody. The divers are doing the same thing in the water. The water is dark. It is murky. And that is a very tough condition for them to dive in. The question about the river, we'll make that decision later. The Coast Guard's on scene, and I would expect that it's not a high use time in the river.
I think they said that they deployed like 300
recreational traffic on the river.
rescue people.
2, 3.
Secretary Duffy, have you been in touch with the air traffic controllers who were in the tower at the time of the crash?
I have not.
You have not. And the second question, this is your first several hours in this position.
I wish there were live captions, but there are not.
My focus is on those who are impacted on this flight. And again, I've been secretary for a little over a day, and the tragedy that we're going to deal with this recovery.
Oh my gosh, a day into the job.
Everyone's hearts, whether it's here in the greater DC area or in Kansas. And again, I think everyone
Oh, right, for lupus. Yeah, sorry about that.
potentially have lost a loved one. And
I have a few friends that have lupus.
Can any of you give us any sense about how an accident like this could have happened so close to the airport, right in the heart of DC? There have been reports of the DCA tower contacting the helicopter moments before the crash to ask if they had sight of the aircraft, and apparently the helicopter reported that it did have sight of an aircraft. Is it possible that it had the wrong aircraft in sight? Do you have any sense of what went wrong in those final moments?
I know that the National Transportation Safety Board in its investigation will be able to search on all of those questions. We wouldn't be able to talk about that tonight. Yes.
Two parts for Secretary Duffy. The first thing you were talking about when you were in the Situation Room with the president and Pete Hegseth both being there. Can you tell us more about the president's initial reaction, as well as Pete Hegseth, if this was a military helicopter?
so I was not in the Situation Room. I did have a conversation with the Situation Room where the president was located, as well as with Secretary Hegseth. We're exchanging information. I would just note that not just the local team, but the federal team has performed very well in this crisis. I know the president is incredibly concerned about what's happened here today. I'm sure we'll continue to hear more from
Yeah,
him,
steroids has a lot of side
him
effects.
and Secretary Hegseth.
My class is going well. It's not a graded thing. It's just, for my own benefit.
The president has committed to this team and to the NTSB through the DOT that we will provide all resources necessary as we go through this recovery, but also the support from FAA and DOT as the NTSB investigates.
Mr. Secretary, do we know the condition of these aircraft? Are they full? Are they split? Are they pieces?
Again, I don't think we can comment on that. Focus is on getting.
Yeah. I don't think they really know either what the full situation looks like either.
Shut down at least until Friday at 5 a.m. I just heard 11 a.m. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Okay.
Yes. Okay. We can take a few more questions. A question here, and here. Yep.
I go through
Again, I can't say anything.
a company called Visually Speaking,
Who was next? Yes.
and they have really good teachers, and they have meetups in my area, and they also do online classes.
Recovery, at what point do you then change phases? And can you describe to us the scene as best you can when first responders first arrived?
So I happened to be listening to the radio this evening when the call came out. I listened to the responders come in, and the initial response, they were very professional trying to locate this. This is, if you can imagine, the river is a large black spot at night with no lights on it, except for a few buoy lights. So they were out there looking. The boats pretty quickly were able to locate one of the aircraft and get there. So that's what's going on right now. Everybody's working on that. We will reevaluate where we are with the rescue operation in the morning when we get a better sense of it, but we are still out there working, and we're going to continue that throughout the night.
Is there a sense that there are survivors?
We don't know yet, but we're working.
Is any part of the search happening over land?
No, we're all in the water.
Yes. Oh, you got a question. Somebody didn't get a question. Hold on. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, do you have an estimate yet on how long the recovery efforts will take?
Chief.
So
I don't think they would
experiences
know
like this,
how long it would take.
we expect to continue our operations in the fire department for multiple days, and then I would expect the investigation goes longer than that.
Okay, you didn't get a question, and you are next, I think.
Okay, thank you, Maria. My question is, do we have any plan to prevent future crash or future accidents? Do we have any like to reform the airport control to calm those people who are flying in the next few days? And also, how long the rescue is gonna last? Are we gonna stop rescue after tomorrow?
She just answered that question, dude.
Like diverse team, because they are still in the golden hours now.
No,
Feel like
I mean, I think you just
that's
heard
pretty
the
much
chief
going to be
say
the
we're gonna be
end of it.
out there as long as it takes. And
Let
we're
me
obviously
show you
trying
this.
to get to people as soon as.
So this is the airport that plane was coming from. And this is the Potomac River. And so I guess they collided somewhere in this area. Over here is DC. This is the Pentagon. And over here is DC and then the line for Virginia. So you can see where it is. See, there's downtown Washington, DC. All right, guys, I'm going to head off for the night. Yeah, I don't want to think about it anymore tonight. I'm just going to try and relax and eat some food, do some 420, and then go to bed. So I hope you guys can rest easy tonight. This is a tragedy. It's really sad. Take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health, take care of each other, and stay hydrated. Love you. Bye.